guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with my review for Bridgerton Season 2. Now, I did do a vlog watching the entire season and giving you my quick thoughts after each episode. This is a video where I'm talking about the show as a whole, so I didn't get to do that really in that video. If you're interested in watching that video, if you haven't yet, it is 33 minutes long. I do not plan on having this video be too long. My goal is to keep it under 15, so I will get to my thoughts. Before I go, though, I want to tell you about my sweatshirt, which is amazing. I bought it because my friend Sarah from Romantically Swept Away on Instagram did a bonfire campaign. It says "Feelin' Clinch AF" because it has the clinch couple on it, and I thought it was very appropriate to wear for this review. Let's get to the show. I, as a show watcher, really enjoyed the show. As a book reader, it left a lot to be desired. That's all I can say. I feel like since I've talked to a lot of people after watching it, a lot of people felt like the show did a disservice to the books, especially the scenes they decided to choose to show were very, very different. Except for the Pall Mall, I feel like that was kept pretty close to the books. The bee scene, the library scene, and I feel like they cut out so much that made Kate and Anthony what they are, because Kate and Anthony both have their individual fears. Kate is terrified of thunderstorms stemming to what happened with her mother, and Anthony is terrified of dying. They didn't have either of their fears in there. Anthony did discuss with Violet, he is terrified of putting someone through what Edmund put Violet through when he died, but they don't really talk about it that much more. And I feel like taking out what made those two characters who they are was hard to watch. I do think that they made the tension between Kate and Anthony explosive. The actors had so much chemistry, way more, in my opinion, than Daphne and Simon did in season 1, especially since I've rewatched season 1 a million times. I feel like Kate and Anthony's chemistry was through the roof. They had so much tension between them that it built for 7 episodes. I do think that they took the Edwina storyline too far, especially because in the books they were so close, and for Edwina to say, "You're my half-sister," broke my heart, because they did not have that animosity between them in the books whatsoever. Edwina wanted to marry for love. She had this need to marry for her family, but she also wanted to find someone perfect for her, and Anthony wasn't like perfect for her, like she says in the show. And one thing that bothered me, sorry, this review is gonna be all over the place. I have notes, but I'm going where my mind's going. So one thing that bothered me was when we had the wedding, which in my opinion was way too drawn out. We had an entire episode on that wedding. There should have been no question in Edwina's mind that she could marry Anthony after knowing how Kate felt about him, because Kate and Edwina had the whole conversation, and Kate cannot deny that she loves Anthony. And so Edwina still is thinking about marrying Anthony, and I was like, that conversation right there should have told you, I cannot go through marrying this man. She had fallen in love with him in the show, though. Edwina and Anthony never had those moments in the book, and I feel like the show was trying to make it more dramatic. Everything about the show was trying to be more dramatic. I love a good angsty romance. I enjoyed the fact that Kate was feeling these feelings but wanted to be honorable to her sister, and I got that. But then when Anthony and Edwina finally broke it off, I thought it was hilarious, first of all, that Edwina was like, "How am I so blind I didn't see this chemistry in the first place?" I felt like the last 2 episodes brought the show down, because the fact that Kate and Anthony still weren't together, even though Edwina wasn't even in the picture anymore in their relationship, made me so angry. They were so hot and cold and back and forth with one another in those last 2 episodes, and it felt like not their romance anymore. It felt like we were too busy following the Featherington plotline, we were too busy following Penelope and Colin's plotline, Penelope and Eloise's plotline. There was all these plot lines that really were dramatic and overshadowed the romance, and we got the HEA for like 5 minutes. And the fact that Kate was like, "He only wanted to marry me because he slept with me and he felt like it was out of duty." I was like, where did that thought come from? I was so disappointed in that Kate was pushing Anthony away because she thought he would propose for duty. The man has been lusting and loving after you for 5 episodes, and you're saying he only wanted you because he felt like he was obligated to? That made me annoyed. But I think that if I hadn't read the book, especially hadn't reread the book right before the show, I would have not been as bothered because the addictiveness of this show was like no other. Every episode ended where I was freaking out. I was like, what's gonna happen next? It had so much of the Queen and Lady Danbury, which I personally actually really enjoyed. Lady Danbury and the Queen were involved a lot. I loved the Queen at the end, how she just like did her little magic, but I thought it was interesting how Lady Danbury took over a lot of what Mary's role was in the book, and how I felt like we didn't have as much of a connection between Mary and her daughters as we did in the book. And I love that connection between Edwina and Kate and their mom, and Kate's discussion with Mary, why she calls her Mary. Like, I would have liked that more in the show. And I did like the flashbacks with the dad and Anthony and how they changed that. I think that showed Anthony's need for duty a lot more, especially because he was thrust into the role of the Viscount at 18 and had no idea how to be a Viscount, and even was being asked, hi Lily, what to do when like his mother was about to die, and like calling the shots, and he was like, I can't do this, I don't know what I'm doing. And so I really liked that desperation in his character, and that made a lot more sense with his character in the show. I also really loved the humor. The humor I feel like was so present in the first half of the show. To me, the first 4 episodes were the strongest. Episode 4 was my favorite, and then from then on we had the love triangle drama, the Featherington drama, and not as much romance between Anthony and Kate. I love the first 4 episodes. I loved Anthony interviewing women when he was trying to find a bride. I love that. I love Benedict and Eloise's connection at the end was just so adorable, and their swing scene was adorable. Benedict is just like growing as a character, and I love that because I really did love his book. I did enjoy Colin and Penelope's storyline. I think Colin changed a lot though in the season. He was a lot more serious, which I didn't mind, but we didn't have his humor in like that we get in throughout all the books and we got in season 1. But I did love how we had his character then visit Marina and Philip and build up that plot line, which I don't know if they're gonna have it connect to Eloise, especially the direction Eloise's character is going, because she is vastly different than the book. Same with Penelope. Their breakup of their friendship broke my heart. I had tears in my eyes watching them because Penelope was in such a bad situation. I don't know if I loved how that was revealed. I would have liked Penelope to tell Eloise she was Lady Whistledown and work together, but if we had to have drama, so it did break up their relationship, and I just don't love seeing characters' relationships hurt like that, so that's why I would have liked to not have it, but I know it's a show, we need those moments, so I got that. And the Featherington storyline was a lot, and someone commented on my last video where they were like, it's called the Bridgertons for a reason, let's focus more on the Bridgertons, and the Featheringtons really took over a lot of this plot in the show. But I do love Lady Featherington and how adamantly protective she is of her daughters, and how she will literally do anything for them. She will try to ruin other families just so that her family comes out on top. I thought it was hilarious when she tried to ruin her daughter with Lord Featherington, then he's like, you're an idiot, I was trying to court Cressida because I need money, and then they had this whole scheme. I feel like it was just very dramatic, and they wanted that drama in the plot, and that did keep me watching, especially when Colin got involved in it, and I was like, what's gonna happen to Colin, not Colin? And I did enjoy Colin at the end with Will and his gentleman's club he was opening, and how he helped him. I really loved that side character and that whole plot line. I loved teaming up with the modiste. I thought that was so much fun, and I just enjoyed a lot in this season. Like, there are a lot of highlights. As a reader though, there are a lot of disappointments, and I feel like this book is so beloved by the Bridgerton fan base that it was interesting to see them change so much more than they did in season 1, and just like about the core structure of the plot and the romance, because we had a lot of main scenes similar in the first book that we had in the first show, and in this one most of the main scenes were changed. And I do get them wanting to change the structure of the plot because we would have had 2 marriage of inconveniences in a row, but I thought it was an interesting choice that they chose the wedding to show between Anthony and Edwina. And Anthony and Edwina actually had genuine feelings for each other. Edwina walked down the aisle and Anthony looked happy. In that moment, I was like, is this wedding actually going to happen? Like, how are they going to get out of this? Like, Anthony seems excited that she's there, and I'm disappointed they showed that wedding and then did not show Anthony and Kate getting married. That was really sad. As like our main couple in end game of the show, the fact that Anthony and Kate didn't even get a wedding, they didn't get a wedding night, we had a sex scene with them, but just that one, and we had all this tension building between them. I feel like they and their romance and their happiness was subpar because we had so much drama going on with all the other characters that not a lot of time was focused on them, and Kate had reservations that were much different than the book, and I feel like they weren't as great as the book. But like I said, if I didn't have the book to compare to, I thought it was a really strong show and very entertaining, but I feel like readers are disappointed. I've had so many people commenting on my video who are readers who said this was actually really disappointing because we knew the potential it could have. Like, they didn't even include him sucking out the venom. Why couldn't we have him sucking out the venom? That was like the most iconic part of the bee sting scene, and they cut it out. They didn't even have to do the being ruined in Marriage of Convenience. You could have just still had him try to suck out the venom. But I feel like that scene was a turning point for their relationship. Her seeing a vulnerable side of him, them feeling that tension. There's a lot of tension between them, lots of near misses. Can we talk about Daphne for a second? I loved Daphne's character in here. I love that she was the one who caught them together. I love that she was coming into herself as the Duchess, and Violet seeing her as an equal. I just really loved Daphne and her commentary and her part in here. I didn't mind not seeing Simon. I was someone who was annoyed that he would just not even bother coming back. It would have been fun to see him as a side character, especially during Pall Mall, but I didn't miss him. I feel like he didn't even have that big of a part in the book to begin with, so it was fine. But I did love seeing Marina and Philip, and I don't know though with the Colin and Penelope storyline if their book's gonna be next. I'm feeling like it is. As someone who really loves angst, I feel like they did a really good job building up the tension and the angst between Anthony and Kate. I didn't get the payoff I wanted. I feel like we needed a lot more, but the chemistry was undeniable between these characters. We just had a lot of drama. I feel like they wanted to make a dramatic show, and they did. So I'm still conflicted over whether I want to say I loved it or I didn't, because as a show I loved it. There were definitely things I wish they would have changed or included as a reader, but as a show itself I was thoroughly entertained. So that's all I can say about it. I would love to know your thoughts as either a reader or someone who hasn't read the books, what you thought. Keeping this under 15 minutes like I said I would, but those are just my general thoughts, so let me know what you thought down below. I've already seen a lot of thoughts on my other in-depth vlog video, so if you want me talking individually about each episode for 33 minutes, go watch that video. But overall, I know that after episode 3 the book pretty much went out the window, but I really liked the additions that they added. I just wish as a romance reader and lover there was a little bit more romance and a little bit more HEA that we saw that the book definitely had. So that's all I have, and like I said, let me know your thoughts down below. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.